yeah, for the most part, he did. And it's crazy. I think I told you this before, but his family and my family grew up directly across the street from each other. I could look out my grandma's window and see the McCalls. You know what I'm saying? Um, Bruce Gass said McCall had a breakdown in the ring when he had a rematch with Lennox Lewis. Yeah. And that was bad too. I like the behind the scenes story behind that is like it's crazy. But I'm glad the guy's been he been getting opportunities since then, because usually usually they don't give you another opportunity after that, man. My guy VP Shane in the building, said he's jumping on in 20 minutes, man. All right, cool. We gonna be in here, bro. Um Legend, the fight Haney Prograis, like how do you see it going? Like, what? Talk to me.
And I got Haney winning this fight by decision, but their omnosity is so strong. I can see them, like first round them, just throwing it all out. Prograis has power, so I believe if once Haney starts feeling those shots, he might, change up his game plan to start fighting smart and strategic. So I can see them, just going all out in the first couple of rounds, and then Haney just boxing smart like the later half of the fight. But I definitely got Haney winning by decision.
Yeah, I think that's the common pick. If you study boxing, that's the pick that you would probably go with. Um, I got a feeling something weird gonna happen in this fight, man. Like I just I don't see just Haney jab 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 move jab maybe a right hand keep it moving. I just I think something weird gonna happen. I don't know if somebody gonna get knocked down. There's gonna be some beef in the ring. I just got a feeling something good gonna happen tonight. And anything drama in a boxing ring is good for us. You know, just I mean, if you want to look at it just from the technical standpoint, Haney got a top five jab in the sport. He got top five feet too. If anybody wants to dispute that, go look at the Lomachenko fight for the first maybe about 7-8 rounds. But he got top five feet too. You can't hang with Lomachenko like that and really nullify his offense if you don't have top five feet. So he got top five feet. But this fight really all depends on Prograis, to be honest with you. It really does, because he's a southpaw, so he got that going for him. Then with Prograis, he's gonna have to figure out early what is he gonna do to get Haney out of his jab. Like Haney reminds me of Spence. When Spence fought Crawford, I was like, with Crawford, he has to do two things with that jab. He's either gonna have to counter it or he's gonna have to throw his jab with him. He has to give Haney a reason to either not throw the jab or for him to start off his combinations with something other than the jab. Um, I haven't seen Haney throw lead straight right hands against the Southpaws. I really didn't see that against Lomachenko. I don't know. I mean, Prograis not as crafty as Lomachenko, different types of Southpaws, but I don't know. I don't know how Regis is gonna play this. If I'm him, he needs to get into Haney's chest, but he needs to jab with him and then get in his chest and go work. Um, I'm leaning towards Haney too, but I think Prograis is really gonna have his moments in this fight. But I do think Haney can fight typical Haney and win this fight. But he may have pressure on him as well to perform. And that's why I think something weird gonna happen tonight, because I don't think Haney can just go in and just jab, jab, move, jab, jab, an occasional right hand, um, and actually get away with that. Because if that happens, the public response is going to be no different than what Shakur got in his last fight. Shakur clearly won the fight, but you know,
Yeah,
you
both guys are coming off some questionable wins. I think Haney I think Haney beat Loma, but a lot of people didn't say it that way. In Progress, he had a terrible performance in his last fight. You know what I'm saying? So he said it himself. He had a terrible performance. So both guys, not coming off the best, performances in their last fight. But like I said, the animosity for this fight, man, I could just see them going in and just trading, and then Haney just start boxing smart and being more strategic.
Yeah, this is a shocking comment from me that I'm getting ready to read. Boxing First Vlog said Haney's getting stopped. You heard it here first. B Vlog. I'm gonna tell you why that's so shocking because Vlog was definitely pro Haney for a good minute. He was pro Haney for a good minute, man. Like, so I don't know. Vlog, can you tell us where y'all two fell out at? Where's where's the disconnect? Because I know that was your guy, for real. But it's just with Prograis, like it's really the jab. Like it's really the jab. Like Crawford was popping Spence with his jab at the same time Spence was throwing his, and it got Spence's attention not because the punches hurt, but it was because he was like, okay, he's matching me jab for jab. I might have to start my offense with something other than just a straight jab. Prograis is gonna have to do the same thing. He's gonna have to do the same thing. Um, and I think Haney, if he's just on his jab, I just want to see Haney throw more combinations off of the jab. I think it'll make the rounds a little more clearer for him, and I think it'll make him look more exciting offensively. Because a lot of times he'll just go one, two jabs, and he'll kind of just keep it moving. But I think Haney has pressure on him to perform tonight. I think a lot of people think he's going to win the fight, but he has pressure to perform because if he goes in and wins and he stinks to join up, nobody's going to be wanting to see him. And I know Floyd went through this earlier in his career, like at that midway point. I'm not talking um, earlier in his career. He was putting stuff to sleep early in his career. I'm talking about like that middle part, right before he got out of top rank. Those fights, he was a lot of them fights he was dominating, but he really wasn't adding too much excitement. And I feel like Haney's on the verge of being at that same point. Shakur's on the verge of being at that same point. Like, hey, like you're winning, but you know, it's a lot of you hear a lot of snoring in the background. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of pressure on him to perform. Like, how much pressure you think it is on Haney to actually like perform tonight? Like put on like an exciting performance on top of winning.
I think he's got a lot of pressure because this is his first fight at 140, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And he's fighting like in his backyard, close to home. So I think he's got some pressure on him for those two reasons. And
And you
like
got
I
to,
said, Prograis got power. So we seen Haney get had a shaky chin against Linares. So Prograis has power. So like if Prograis catches him, Haney's on shaky legs. How does he react to a guy that got serious power? So I think he's definitely got a lot of pressure on him for sure.
yeah, I think, and that's a good point. Basically, Haney basically fighting at home, and from what I read, that the fights actually sold out. That's good. That's good. That's good for Haney and Prograis. Because if it's a really good fight, we could possibly be talking about a rematch. And the fact that Haney and Prograis actually sold this, an arena out, that's really good. That's really good for them. But you made a good point. Him fighting basically at home, is it pressure on him to actually do things outside of his character? You know what I'm saying? Offensively, is he going to do things outside of his character? Is he going to stay in the pocket an extra 3-4 seconds more than what he usually does? Is he going to throw a 5-6 punch combination where under normal circumstances he's only throwing a 2 to 3 punch combination? Like, um, I'm real curious to see how Haney fights tonight. Like, we know what he's gonna do technically, but I'm kind of curious to see how he's gonna fight. And I think it's two different Haneys. You got the Haney that fights like live in an actual fight, and then you got Haney that you see in sparring. I'm still waiting to see the Haney that sparring Haney to pop up in a real fight. Because when you see Haney like sparring, you like, yo, he in there trying to kill something. I don't see that when he's actually fighting. Like I want to see the sparring Haney tonight in kill mode. I don't know if I've seen Haney in kill mode. And I think that's really the difference between Haney and some and like a Tank and other guys that are really capturing keep people's attention inside of the ring. Do you think he's gonna be a little reckless tonight? You think Haney gonna be a little reckless tonight?
I won't think he would be. Like I said, I think he would be reckless in the first couple of rounds. But in the past, he looked real bad in the face when he fought Cam Boses. So I think 140 is it like his normal weight. So I think he would definitely go on there on his A game. But I think he would be reckless in the first few rounds. But as the fight plays out, like I said, he'll get more
Let's
smart,
slow down.
strategic. Yeah.
Yeah. And big shout out to Coach Padman McGriff too, because he was handling a lot of his strength and conditioning and pad work, things like that. I don't think he's working with him for this fight, but you could definitely see the difference. You could definitely see the difference between Haney at 140 at the weigh-in and Cambosis at 135 for the rematch at the weigh-in. I mean, they were saying Haney was looking like Michael Jackson and Thriller. You know what I'm saying? You know, but he was professional. He made the weight, performed that night. But some guys can stay at their weight too long, and for him to give up all of his belts prior to the fight, that was the sanctioning bodies probably putting pressure on him, and he just couldn't get back down to 135. But he looked good at the weigh-in. He looked good. He like color looked right. He didn't look, drained or anything like that. He had a good amount of energy. It looked like it wasn't forced. He looked completely comfortable at 140. I'm getting these comments real quick. Boxer First Vlog said no fallout, just a good feeling. He must got some bread on the fight. He got a couple of dollars on it. Said Haney has been nicked in a few fights lately. Yeah, the like Legend said, the Linares fight. And the thing that's crazy, it took Linares to throw like 6 shots to get the kill shot though.
Yeah, and the thing was that happened at the end of that round. So if this was in the middle of the round and like Nanars kept throwing, how would Haney reacted? And that's what I'm saying. Prograis got power. So if Prograis clips him, how does Haney react? You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
he's on shaky legs and Prograis going to keep coming. So it's a lot of questions in my head about this fight too, man.
Yeah, and another thing is when Linares caught him with that shot, like he threw like 6 shots. And the thing that's crazy is Haney, when he was doing the catch, he just had his hand the wrong way. Like Linares is this way. He was supposed to put his hand up like this. He put it like this and had his whole face open. But it took Linares 5 or 6 shots to get that shot. So Prograis is and listen, Linares hand speed is quicker than Prograis. Let's get that clear. Linares got some of the quicker hands in the sport. Like offensively, he's gifted. Um, can Prograis put together a 5 punch combination to get to that point? Because Haney, you're not going to hit Haney with the first 2 shots. You got to hit Haney with the 4th shot, the 5th shot. Is Regis going to stand there and get those shots off for him to give him an opportunity to land? You face a guy like Haney, you want to land on the back half of the combinations. You're probably not going to land on the front end. You know what I mean? L Dub the plug in the building, man. Big shout out to you. He said salute, man. Salute to you, good brother. Jo, he said Devin needs a clear dominant performance tonight to put that Loma controversy behind him. I love T.O. versus Dev. That's a great point. That's a great point, bro. People are still talking about that Lomachenko fight, and a lot of people felt like Lomachenko won that fight. And a lot of times you watch how a person actually closes fights round 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If a guy, Haney really dominated early in the fight, but after pretty much round 7, 8, Loma, when the commentators were saying it seemed like Loma got him figured out, and even when Haney went in the corner, he was like, it was basically like, yo, it seemed like he know what I'm doing. Um, the thing is, Lomachenko he made things simple. He just made things simple. And he really just changed his distance in terms of how he attacked offensively. And yeah, he had Haney figured out. He had Haney figured out, and that's what people remember. People remember the last thing that they seen. They seen those last 3 rounds, 4 rounds, and it was just like, yo, like Haney lost that fight. So Jo, I agree 100%. Devin Haney needs a. I'm gonna tell you what he needs. Devin Haney needs a Floyd Mayweather or Toro Gotti type performance tonight. Like that's what he's gonna need. Like Floyd had that fight where it was a coming out party. Like we're still waiting for Haney to have a coming out party. Like he needs one of them type of performances. But to go back to what Legend said, like Legend said, it's a lot of, it's a good amount of pressure um on him tonight to get it done. Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, big shout out to you. He said the sparring Haney goes to sleep. Mm,
Yeah, I
okay.
want to add. I want to add. I think pressure can be on Prograis just a bit too, because I was telling you before. I said this on live. It was a guy that was saying Prograis had just won a fight, and he was out. He was out eating, at a restaurant, and nobody knew who he was, and he had just won a fight. But like you said, New Orleans isn't a big boxing state. You know what I mean? It's not a big
Right.
boxing town. So I think this puts Prograis on the map too. I think this definitely raises his profile. So if he wins tonight, man, I think he'll go a long way.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a great point too. And the way he fought in his last fight, I wouldn't agree to him at dinner either. You know what I'm saying? He stuck the joint up that night.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But this goes to show a lot of guys can't fight at home. A lot of guys
yeah,
can't fight at home. It's a lot of guys you want for them to, build a fan base in front of their hometown, and they get in front of their hometown and they just don't perform. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I
Styles
probably
make fights, man. Yeah, Styles
yeah,
make fights, and his opponent, man, Prograis' opponent just had a style where Prograis shouldn't, he couldn't take advantage of. So, but
yeah.
Haney, man, I think Haney's gonna be in his face, man. Haney's gonna be in his face, right? But then he gonna start boxing smart. Gonna start
I
boxing smart. So,
I could see that happening too. I could definitely see that happening where he just, you know, um, he come out there, kind of test the waters a little bit and then calm down. Because I think Prograis is definitely he's gonna pressure him early. He's gonna pressure him early, try to force him to fight early. So I could definitely see that
yeah,
playing out. Mr. Gumbo said, "Are we forgetting Taylor was bigger than Regis?" No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Taylor's a big 140. And Mr. Gumbo, I thought Regis won that fight. Me personally, I thought he won that fight. But it was a real tight fight. It wasn't to the point to where you could say it was a robbery, but Regis and Taylor, that was one of the better fights at 140 in a while. So Regis shown he can fight on that high level. It's just with a guy like Haney, he's so technically sound. You have to get him. You have to make him beat you with something other than the jab. And it's the same thing with Spence. Like Spence fights, he 95% of the time he's starting his combinations off with a jab. You have to get him to start his combinations off with something else. That was the first thing Terrence Crawford accomplished in that fight that nobody talks about. He took away Spence's jab. He made him think before he threw that jab. Regis is going to have to make Haney think before he throws that jab. Um, at the end of the day, Boston first vlog, he said, remember sparring Haney isn't getting the same resistance. Yeah, that's true. And I guess maybe I need to clarify what I mean by sparring Haney. That the sparring Haney is a lot more offensive. And he starts off his combinations with variety. It's not just the single jab to the head. Like he get creative offensively. Like that's what I want to see out of Haney. So I guess that's really what I mean by sparring Haney. Jo, he said I thought if that Regis versus Taylor fight was in America, Regis could have got the decision. Great fight though. I agree. 100%. I agree 100%. If that goes down in the States, Regis probably wins that fight. And it's probably the same card, just the other way. Same score, all that. Just the other way. Um, is it any other fight that you're checking for on a Haney card?
Yeah, Montana Love versus Pero. Well, I'm concerned. I'm a huge fan of Montana Love, but I got a lot of questions, man. I got a lot of concern for him because number one, he's been inactive. He's been active since the Steve Spark fight. And, he lost that fight. He was disqualified and everything, but he was losing that fight. I think he was just kind of looking for a way out. The way the fight ended, with him throwing Spark, out the ropes, but this fight, man, it's got a lot of questions, man. He's been inactive, so I'm just wondering how he's going to do, man. But I don't know, man. I can't say, but that's one fight that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Actually, both guys are coming off of pretty big layoffs.
Oh,
Um, Pyro is coming off a layoff as well. Like Montana Love frustrates me, man. Like
yeah,
he's a southpaw. He has a lot of flash. He has everything that you need to be a star in this sport. But I just feel like his last fight, the fight before that, like he always doing something goofy, man. Like he
yeah,
just he like the he like the Jordan Poole of boxing, man. Like you see all this talent and all this ability, and it's just sometimes he just does too much. Like sometimes he just be doing too much. Whether it's just emotionally, he loses his composure. Fighting wise, he'll do things, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, just make it easy, make it simple." Um, so with Montana Love, like it's interesting to see how he's gonna perform tonight. But the one thing you don't want to be in a ring is a hothead. If you a hothead and you show your frustration and it comes out in your fighting, people are gonna take advantage of that. People are gonna take advantage of that. And 140 is a hot division. Hot division. Montana Love needs an epic performance tonight to put him back on the map. Because that last performance that he had, he was losing that fight. He was losing that fight. I'm a Montana Love fan. Legend is a Montana Love fan. We keep it a stack over here. Like we keep it a stack. Like at the end of the day, he was losing that fight.
and
So
uh, and I want to add, he was supposed to fight Richardson Hitchens, but he pulled out of that fight. He had an undisclosed injury, so we don't know what injury he had. So we don't know what injury he had in that fight. So is that going to affect him in this fight? I mean, but the fight's a done deal, and he's ready to get in that ring and show out. But yeah, I hope he can get the victory, man. And him and Hitchens can get that get negotiations going back, man, for
that
sure.
bro, that fight in New York, I don't know where that first fight was gonna go down at, but that fight in New York, that thing I do. I would go to New York for that fight. I would definitely go to New York for that fight. So if I think Hitchens got something lined up too. I think Hitchens got something lined up, and then Montana Love's fighting tonight. But if Montana Love get a victory tonight, Hitchens take care of his business. Yeah, they need to go revisit that because the winner of that fight, they should get a title fight. They
Yeah,
should
nah,
they should they should get a title fight. Like for sure. That's like a crossroads. That's a crossroads fight. Like, are you gonna be the are you gonna be the gatekeeper or you gonna be the contender?
mm,
And I think for both guys, it's about that time. We've been hearing about Montana Love for a minute. We've been watching him for a minute. Hitchens, of course, we know him from being in that Mayweather camp in the past, things like that. Strong New York connection. So we've been hearing these guys' names for a minute, but we really don't know what they are. We don't know if they're contenders. We don't know if they're future stars or they're gatekeepers.
mm.
We don't know who they are right now. So they have to let us know. A lot of times when we question fighters and who they are, they'll get mad at us. But I'm like, No, you haven't established yourself in terms of who, like, what status are you? Like, or like, if you're a star or a superstar, there's no questions. There's no questions. If I can't say your name and say, hey, you're a clear star or superstar, there's work to do. You know what I'm saying? There's work to do. So I hope that's one of the fights I want to see in next year.
Yeah. You know, Hitchens, man, his last performance, man, he was like he looked spectacular in his last performance, man. You know, he beat the John Belzer dude. You know, the Belzer dude is the guy
Yeah.
that he's the one that stopped Michael Williams that was supposed to fight Broner, you know, on the Black Prime. And, like he kept dropping Michael Williams. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So yeah, but like Hitchens, man, he beat the brakes off the Belzer guy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hitchens.
So
Hitchens got big. And you could Hitchens has gradually improved over the last like 2 years. Like you could just see the improvement. Like he's a completely different fighter. And I'm not even talking about technically. You could just tell like he's confident as hell when he's in that ring, man. A lot of times it's really about that confidence at the end of the day. Um Jo said, I don't want to get off topic, but I gotta ask, what do y'all think about the word Benavidez won't be the next for Canelo? Jamal or Munguia are the names I'm hearing. What else does David gotta do? Uh you want to tackle that one first, Legend?
yeah, so I just feel here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing, you know, we got Haney Munguia versus Ryder. We got that early next year, and that, you know, if Haney Munguia wins, he could possibly get Canelo in May. And if Canelo beats Munguia, then that can set up something for Benavidez later on in September. And then you got Maul. You know, they talking about Maul. But I don't want to see Maul, man. Maul, he just got his first fight back 2.5 years. He still, even though he got the victory against Jose Benavidez, he still didn't look 100%, man. He didn't look 100% at the weigh-in, at the press conference. He didn't look 100% when he got in the ring. And I'm not talking about his performance. I'm just talking about his facial expression. He just didn't
Mm,
look 100%. So I don't want to see Marinero, with Canelo. I know that's been a name that's been going around for a while, but he needs another fight just to jump, instead of just jumping there with Canelo. He needs another fight, coming off a 2.5 year layoff, and a win over Jose Benavidez just doesn't do it.
yeah,
That's my take on it, man. And we still got Morrell. Morrell fights next week. So I
yeah.
mean, I know a lot of people don't want to see him fight Benavidez. I don't have a problem with it. I know he don't got a lot of fights under his belt, but to me, Morrell, he's a fresh fighter. You know, he got no wear and tear on him. So I don't see him. I don't see that being a problem for David Benavidez. But and a lot of fans are probably saying, but he don't have enough experience.
Yeah. Jo, I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Like with Canelo got one of the best resumes you gonna see. Jumped to different weight classes. He's taking on fights that I thought was dumb. Like for him, you know what I mean? He's taking them on like the Bivol fight. I thought that was a dumb fight for him to take. There was Landy Lara. He took that fight and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? So Canelo has earned the right to do what he wants to do. Here's the thing with Benavidez though. Canelo has belts at 68. As long as Canelo has belts at 68, he got to go see Benavidez. He's either got to drop them belts or he got to go see Benavidez. Like it's really that simple. And you can't, I know some people probably compare it to like Bud and Boots. See, here's the thing with Bud and Boots. This is the difference between the Bud and Boots situation and the Canelo and Benavidez situation. Canelo could go up to 175, but there's a lot more trouble at 175, and it's not a lot of big money opportunities for him at 175. Bud goes to 154. He got plenty action at 154. He can get what he wanted at 154. So that's the real difference. And then Boots is the IBF champ at 147. So Boots has to make some decisions in terms of how he's going to build himself and build his brand as well. But as long as Canelo has belts at 168, he got to go see he got to go see Benavidez. He got to go see Benavidez at the end of the day. And I know he don't like to hear the word duck and all this and all that. When you got multiple belts at a weight class and you got somebody like that at your front door, you got to answer that. You got to answer that. And I think it'll be a great fight. I think it'll be a great fight because I think Andre, for the time he was in there, he had success offensively. He had success offensively. Like, I just think where Andre went wrong, he spent too much time trying to set traps. Sometimes when you trying to set too many traps, you walking in the line of fire while you're trying to set them traps. And I think that's where he went wrong. But um by I think Canelo has a pretty good shot of beating Benavidez. Benavidez ain't never been in a ring with nothing like that. Like,
Facts,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
fact.
so people are talking like Canelo has no shot against Benavidez. I'm like, Benavidez he ain't seen no Canelo.
And
Prime Canelo?
yeah, I'll add Canelo. Canelo's not going to run. Canelo's going to stay in there. We've seen it with Triple G. Canelo going to stay right there with you, and he's going to trade with Benavidez. And I think he could get the better of Benavidez. Benavidez is tall. Canelo can easily work that body.
Yeah,
Once
for sure.
Benavidez start filling those body shots, he might start backing up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a great fight, man. I love to see it. Vlog said love pulled a Frank Martin. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Vlog said Pyro nice, but does his fight game travel? Good question. Good question. Does it travel? So not only do we have to ask, does it travel? We also gotta ask, um, with the layoff. You know what I'm saying? JL, big shout out for the super chat. He said Ryan Garcia Philly Shell needs some milk.
Yeah, I didn't like what he was doing. Like I didn't like what he was doing, man. He does got Derek James and everything, but the way he kept turning his back and everything, you know what I mean, when he was fighting, man, I didn't get it, man. I didn't get it,
Yo,
man.
you can, like, bro, when I say that is so not Derek James, that you can't tell me you went in the gym and you learned that from Derek James. There's no way. I don't believe that. And you can go with Derek James' track record. You've never seen Mel do that. You've never seen Spence do that. Derek James teaches basics, straight up and down, solid jab, good movement. Make sure your feet are solid. Everything Ryan Garcia did, he looked like, man, damn what Derek James talking about. I'm about to go ahead, try this, try that, do this, do that. Yeah, it needs some it needs some Jo. That Philly shell needs some whole milk. And
Yeah,
he that milk he had on that was about 1%. That was 1%, that 1%, 2% milk. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Yeah, I think Derek James was giving him the right advice, but Ryan Garcia was just kind of wanted to do what he wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And I can see where other trainers had problems with Ryan Garcia too.
they mentioned this. They
They
mentioned
mentioned
that.
it.
Yeah,
He goes in there and does what he want to
yeah.
do.
Yep.
And you know what it reminds me of, bro? Um, a younger Chris Eubank.
Mm.
Chris Eubank, when he was going around with his dad, and his dad was in between rounds, he wasn't really giving him advice. He was just standing there looking at him like this, like he's some
Yeah,
type of specimen and shit.
yeah.
Like, that's what Chris Eubank was doing years ago, where people would tell him what to do and he wasn't really listening. And it took for him to get in front of a Roy Jones for him to start listening. His last fight, he looked great with Bomac in the corner. But it's not about the trainer and it's not about the words. It was about him listening.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You could have the greatest trainer in the world, but if you're not listening to him, like, what's the point?
That's
What's the
that's
point? So Ryan Garcia is now. I do believe you got to fight 2-3 times with a trainer to really get right. You know what I'm saying? But Ryan Garcia is a fighter and a celebrity. Like, how much time is he actually spending in the trenches? Can't be in the gym a couple days and you got it figured out. Like, he would have to probably move close to Derrick James to really get that, really get
and
that knowledge.
yeah, and I would just say that was his first fight with James. So a couple more fights, he'll probably be all right. But that was bad, man. What he was doing, that was
You,
bad, man. The way he was turning his back and everything, I
yeah,
was like, that was
that
bad,
that
man.
Philly shell. I'm trying to figure out whose Philly shell was worse. You know who had a bad Philly shell, bro?
Uh, who?
Andre Berto
Yep.
when he fought Robert Guerrero.
Mhm.
That Philly shell was terrible too.
Yep.
It's some bad Philly shells out there, man.
Yep.
That was one of the worst ones. And for the people that actually watch boxing, Ryan Garcia using that Philly shell is the epitome of somebody just showing them that shit like 2-3 weeks ago. Like somebody literally is hey Brian, like, yo, look, you should try this Philly shell right here. You know what I mean? And they probably shown a couple people that mastered it. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Floyd Floyd Mayweather's, even going back further than that, Nicolino Lucci, you know what I mean, guys like that, that mastered that Philly shell. Like, and the reason why Ryan Garcia looks so bad with the Philly shell is because he's lazy with his legs. He lazy with his legs. In a Philly shell, when you catching like this and you can't catch every shot. Sometimes you got to get below the shot. Sometimes you got to lean back from the shot. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to circle out. When your feet lazy and you feel like you could just stand there and just catch, and you're not doing anything else, that's why his back was getting turned. So he was trying to catch the first shot. God just kept coming with shots on that side. So he has to keep turning like this before you know it, your back's completely turned. His feet's
Yeah.
not good enough to do a Philly shell. His feet is not good enough. People think it's just the hands and just the reaction up top. Like, no, you got to be able to get low. You got to be nimble. You got to know how to use your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like take a Pernell Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? RIP to Pernell Whitaker. He's one of those guys. His defense was so tight because of his feet. He knew how to get below. He knew how to get below shots. He knew how to circle out of shots. He knew how to do two things at once: circle out and dip. Ryan Garcia legs not good enough. His legs is not good enough. And you need extreme. If you haven't been shown the Philly shell from like when you was a kid, I wouldn't suggest you use it.
And you know, senior said a lot of upcoming fighters try to, mimic that from Floyd, but he said Floyd's been doing it for so long, man. A lot of these new guys, they try to do it, they're not good with it. But Floyd, he's been doing it for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing with the Philly shell is meant to catch the second, third, and the fourth shot. Whenever you seen Floyd get in trouble and he get hit with a real good shot, it's always the first shot. The two times he got hit by Mosley, it was the first shot. It was the first shot or the second shot. Is the shell is meant to catch the third, fourth, fifth shot. Even when Floyd got hit by Chop Corley back in the day, that was the first shot of a combination. You look at Floyd and Chino Maidana, that shot was either the first shot or the second shot of the combination. You have to catch a guy that's doing a shoulder roll. You got to catch them before that shit gets established. Because once he gets into a rhythm, then he's just catch, lane, catch. Like once he's in that mode, you're not gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to catch him. You know what I'm saying? So that was the thing with Ryan Garcia. But yeah, that Philly shell definitely needs some whole milk for sure.
Uh,
For Go ahead,
I'll
bro.
add, I'll add, yeah, his performance wasn't so great in the ring, but I commend him for calling out De La Hoya and B Hot, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't I the thing about it is I felt like it was a little bit of promotion, but good promotion. And the thing is um De La Hoya, I don't care what nobody say. De La Hoya is the epitome of when you don't have your personal stuff in order, you can't be doing business, controlling people's careers when you don't have your personal business in order. And that's not a listen, that's not a it's not it's a shot, but it's a shot in the sense of him like you need to improve how you do business. Like when you were Golden Boy and you had all of the fighters, you had under all of the fighters technically because Al Heyman was running things in the background, and then he took all the fighters because you didn't have your business in order because your personal stuff wasn't in order. You know what I'm saying? He's probably the only promoter where like his top guys constantly take shots at him. Um, when
And
Canelo was there. Yeah, Canelo was
Canelo
taking.
just what did a 3-fight deal with PBC, right?
Yeah, he did a three
Yeah.
fight deal with PBC, but he had that huge deal with the Zone and Golden Boy, and he got out of the contract. He got out of the contract, and he took plenty shots at Oscar De La Hoya. There's other people that's been with Golden Boy that's taking shots at him. Ryan Garcia's taking shots at him. I'm like, sometimes, like, Finney, if we going on live 3 times a week and you're taking constant shots at me over stuff that's going on during the show, eventually I gotta look in the mirror and be like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? When somebody consistently is bringing that type of energy to you, sometimes you just gotta look in the mirror and be like, what am I doing wrong? And it seemed like he still hasn't figured it out yet. Like, still like he hasn't figured it out yet, man. Like, so I hope he figures it out. And I think B Hop is just I think B Hop's just B Hop. Like like B Hop like that grandpop that just be talking shit from the
Yeah.
chair. Like, you know what I mean?
Fighters always saying he's always touching them at the weigh-in, pushing them up close. Like Tank got mad about that.
Yeah, Tank looked like he's about to swing on him too, like for
Yeah.
sure. Jo, he said I also been hearing Bud name being thrown around for Canelo. I'd rather see Bud versus Zoo fight at 154 first before he try attempt at 168. David gotta be first regardless. Yeah, I agree, bro. Like if Canelo is not seeing Benavidez in May, he gotta see him in September. But we should be seeing Canelo Benavidez in 24. I wouldn't even be mad if Canelo fought somebody else in May in preparation for David Benavidez in September. I wouldn't even be mad about that because I think you definitely need a prep fight to go up against Benavidez. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think you're gonna need a prep fight if you're Canelo. So if he took on a Munguia or he took on a Charlo, I don't want to see I don't want to see Charlo. Like Charlo, like Charlo ice, he's still ice cold in these boxing streets, man. Even with the Benavidez win. Like I still think he ice cold. I still think he ice cold, man. Like he looks like a different fighter. He don't look like he has the same demeanor. Like I know he said he was going through some stuff, but it literally looks like he went through some stuff. Like he don't talk like the same person. He don't act like the same person. He don't fight like the same person. Um,
Yeah. He didn't make weight either.
he didn't make weight either.
Yeah.
Didn't
He
look,
came in heavier the second time.
yeah, like he failed to came in overweight on the first try, and you supposed to go to the signing room. He went to the donut shop, brother. You know what I'm saying? He went to the donut shop. He's like, man, grab 2 of these glazed joints. Go back on the scale. He came back about 6 ounces to a pound heavier. Like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think the Munguia fight would actually prep him for Benavidez in the sense of this. I'm not saying Munguia is on the level of Benavidez. I'm not saying that. I don't want y'all jumping in the comment section going all crazy. What I'm saying is Munguia throws in volume. He's a really good offensive fighter, and he throws in volume. Canelo fighting Munguia wouldn't be a bad idea because Canelo's going to have to be throwing in between shots, setting traps, throwing in combinations, and getting his shots off and kind of getting out the way. Munguia is a perfect opponent for that. I think Canelo would stop Munguia. Munguia is just not. He threw too many shots at one time. This
Yeah.
dude, I don't think I've ever seen him throw anything less than a 5 punch combination. He's a semi-automatic. Like he
Yeah.
gets in and he just boom, 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 boom. You can't do that against the top guys. They're not gonna let you get off that many shots. You gonna feel something. You gonna feel a counter shot within those shots. And Munguiz has never been in the ring with nobody like a Canelo. So I'm not even mad if he goes that route in May, as long as he's seeing Benavidez afterwards. If it's Canelo Benavidez and there's no fight in 2024, I got a problem with that. I got a
Yeah.
big problem with that.
Yeah, I want to add in Munguia gets the water treatment. You know, a lot of people say he's got that 40 win record but he ain't really fought nobody. You know what I mean? And once he
Facts.
steps up and he does fight Canelo, I think he gets blown out, man.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Munguia is probably the fight that Andre should have got. You know what I mean? I looked at Andre the Benavidez. I was just like, damn, bro. I was just like, Andre gets his shot at 35, and he got to go fight this monster.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Hey,
not his natural weight class. I'm like, he got to go fight this monster
facts.
when he should have got his opportunity about 4 or 5 years ago. Like,
Yep.
it don't matter what happened business wise in the past. If a guy can walk out the ring and still get opportunities afterwards, yeah, y'all could have gave Andre an opportunity. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah. I know that guy. They just said he was mad with the purse. He was just mad with his
Yeah,
purse, and I guess
yeah,
that was his way of, that was his way of complaining. That was his
yeah,
way of showing that he deserved better. So
yeah. Because Bruce Gas was on earlier. He said he's gotten a number of opportunities TV
yeah,
wise.
yep, he has. Yeah,
That's
he fought.
crazy.
Yeah, I seen his. I actually seen his last fight. I just forgot who he fought. But
I
Richard
actually
Torres
want to
is.
interview him.
Yeah,
That'd be
Richard
it.
Torres gonna blow him out though, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. But I,
Yeah,
I, I think Harper out. I need to reach out to him. I got questions, man. I like just on the business side of things, like just you know what I mean, because that was
yeah.
against Fa Ajagba, and he just walked out. Um, hold on. Vlog said y'all bugging. Canelo is trash. Did somebody hack Vlog's account? Because he giving me some takes that I ain't used to. Um, he said he trash. Woo. Okay. He said he didn't want that body work. That's why he was turning so bad. He got to be talking about Ryan. Um, I just think, yeah, I just think his feet are bad. I think his feet is horrible. Like when have you ever seen Ryan Garcia actually bend his legs, bend his knees in a boxing ring, like in a boxing match? You've never seen him bend his knees to get away from a shot. Like you've never seen him really lean here, lean there to get away from a shot. Everything is distance and keeping him away. That's why people think like he called out Rolly. I'm like, Rolly gives him problems. Rolly gives him problems because I'm like, now it might end in a DQ, but Rolly gonna give him problems. You know what I'm saying? Because he's wild. He's wild, and Ryan Garcia don't set no traps. You beat Ryan, you beat Rolly by setting traps. Tank set traps, and he ran into the trap. You know what I'm saying? But he's not that's not a guaranteed victory against Rolly. I don't care if he lost to a 90-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. English guy, he said, "What up, man? What's going on with you, bro? Man, I'm glad to see you on, bro. Big salute to English guy for sure." DM3 say, "What's up, family? Big shout out to you, bro, man. Appreciate you stopping through." Um, and for the people that don't know, man, this being streamed on Top Finney channel too, man. You know what I mean? So definitely click over there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely check this out too. Vlog said like power defensive is natural. Um, so power is natural. I feel like you can improve power, but power is natural. Like you have to have some type of power, just God given ability to have power. Defensively, you can definitely improve your defense. It's your chin is natural. Like, you know what I mean? Your chin is natural. Your defense can be improved for sure. English guy said it takes years to learn how to properly make the Philly shell defense work. Facts, bro. And the thing is, bro, it's the thing with the Philly shell, you see the hands and the shoulders. You don't see the knees and the feet. That's the part that makes the Philly shell effective. It's the knees and the feet. It's not what you catch up here and what you let brush off your shoulder. It's not that. It's the feet that put you in that position. You know what I'm saying? And for the fact that it's no way Derrick James told him that. I like if I could get Derrick James on camera, that's the first thing I'm asking him, bro. I'm like, when you start teaching the Philly shell, bro. Because Ryan
Yeah,
goes, I know you ain't showing that. I
yeah,
know
that's one
damn
hundred
well.
percent Ryan, man.
That's
Yeah.
100% Ryan. And as a coach, if you're not gonna go out there, imagine Ryan Garcia doing that, and he got like a Teddy Atlas in his corner. Teddy Atlas, he's ripping him a new one. He ripping him a new one. As soon as he get in the corner, like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
You know what I
Alex
mean?
gonna let him have it, man.
Atlas would have let him. Atlas might have walked out. He might, man. You go train yourself straight up. But English got a great point, man. Jo said I personally want Jamal versus Plant storylines of fire. I think Jo, to be honest with you, that should be one of the first fights that they kick off on the Amazon Prime. I think that would be great just for the storylines. I think Plant gives. I think he's probably the Devin Haney at 168. A lot of technical skill, but just like he ain't really popping crazy. I would say he's probably like the Devin Haney at 168. And then Maul has been out so long, and you're seeing a lot of flaws in that Benavidez fight. You could tell he ain't fought in a couple years. And again, you could tell by the feet. His feet just didn't look steady, even though when he was getting off shots, his feet just didn't look steady. Like he looked heavy. Like, you know what I mean? I know he came into the fight, overweight, didn't make weight, but he looked heavy. Like he fought heavy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like old Maul would have got out of situations. Like he'd have spun out of situations. He'd have just regrouped. You know what I mean? Made Benavidez reset. And a lot of times he was just standing there. And I just felt like his legs wasn't with him. You know what I'm saying? But I think that would be a prime, no pun intended, a prime fight for them to start off on Amazon. To start the year out, I would say probably February, maybe March, something like that. I think they could really build that up nice, and that'll be a really good rivalry fight. Me personally, I think they should do it earlier than later, maybe late January, something like that, early February, because that storyline is not gonna last forever. Like it's only so long you can show that slap. You know what I'm saying? So you got to capitalize on that. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't mind seeing that fight at all, man. English guy says someone on commentary said it looked like he was just trying to protect the right side of his body, and that makes some logical sense. Um, that's a solid point. I didn't really think of that. I'm assuming you talking about the Tank fight, him coming in with the rib injury, but I guess this is where I would kind of challenge that. If he was responding like that in camp, then that's a problem. Like that's a problem because I'm like, you shouldn't be turning like that to protect an old injury. Like he should have been fully recovered and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe he had a rib injury going into that Tank fight. You know what I'm saying? I believe it. But at the end of the day, he still shouldn't be. He wasn't in there with Tank, and he didn't disclose no injuries for that fight. So if that was the case, then that's a problem. That's a long term problem. Um, Vlog said, he said harder tests for Crawford, Tim, Tim Zoo, or Haney Regis. Um, I think um that's a good question. Like, what's the harder test? Um, damn, that's a real good question. I would
I think
say, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I think Crawford. I think Crawford beats Tim Zoo easy. But don't get me wrong, Tim Zoo been looking spectacular in his last performances, man. But I was reading that Tim Zoo may be trying to fight Erison Lubin for like March or something. But I think Crawford's on another level, man. But don't get me wrong, Tim Zoo's been improving like crazy, man.
Yeah, I would say Regis is probably the harder test. Only because this is Haney's first fight at 140 pounds. And of course, if Crawford fought Tim Zoo, that'll be his first fight at 154. But I think Crawford, levels wise, is like he's a level or two above Haney, and he got a lot more elements to his game than Haney does. So I would say Regis is a harder test for Haney than Tim would be for Crawford. Um, Angus Glass said, "Hey vlog, how do you think Haney and Prograis plays out?" Um, Actually, I want to hear Vlog's opinion on that too. He said Plant versus Charlo would be really interesting. I think it would be too. They got to capitalize on that though. I think they would have to announce that before the year is out and start running that slap repeatedly until it's time for the fight. You know what I mean? But they got to capitalize on that though. Um, George
Shout
knocking the
out.
building, man. Big shout out to you, family. Big shout out to you. Definitely thank you for dropping in, man. And don't just drop that, man. Give me some boxing talk up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to George Knock for sure. JL, he said, did you expect more from Andre after all the talk about his skills over the years? Let me see. Him and Ergashev in the Matias fight both got criticized for basically putting up the white flag. So, as far as Andre is concerned, I think he went in there with a solid game plan. I think in boxing, sometimes we'll overanalyze things. When it comes down to it, I think he just got caught with a shot. He got caught with a shot, and things just changed. You know what I mean? Things just changed for him. He looked beat up in that fight, but if Benavidez get anybody in that position, they're gonna be beat up. I think it's just human nature. Like, you know what I mean? Like human nature, you're gonna show signs of you being hurt, like physically, mentally. Like I don't think people want guys to go out on a shield. I respect that 100%. But at the end of the day, man, like it's he was going, if they didn't stop it, he was gonna go out on his shield. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it probably have been worse for him. So I was 100% cool with the stoppage, man. Like I said, man, Andre did one hell of a job, man. His combinations were on point. He did good those first 3 rounds. But like as you were saying earlier, man, just at 35, him finally fighting a big name, just like a monster like Benavides, man, that was just the wrong guy to do it against, man. But like if this happened like 4 or 5 years ago, I think it would still been like the same result, but maybe Benavides would got him out there later. But at 35, man, I think it was just too late for Andre to finally shine, man. Especially
Yeah,
against Benavides, man.
yeah, that's it. And it was just, I mean, it was just a horrible, that's a horrible fight for you to get your opportunity. Like, I mean, you couldn't have dealt a worse hand. Like, like you couldn't have dealt a worse hand, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really
Yeah.
couldn't. That's crazy.
But
Um,
hey, I
Go ahead,
told
bro.
Chris G, I told Chris G, man, I said coming off that loss against Benavides, who I would really like to see, because this guy lasted longer than Andre, but I don't think he's better than Andre, is Kai Davis. I think that would be a good fight for because Kai Davis actually fought on Tank and Hector Garcia undercard on a
Yeah,
non-televised push. I didn't even know that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was at that fight and I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I think with these boxing cards, you have like a non-televised portion, which means you're not televised on the main stage. I think those fights do need to be streamed, though.
Mm.
They do need to be streamed, whether it's Facebook, Amazon Prime, like whatever the case may be. If there's a fight going on, it should be streamed. Because
Yeah.
I made this point a while ago. I was just like, you look at people's records and you got to ask yourself, how many times have you actually seen that person fight?
And these guys got fans, that want to see them. And even though they're not on the televised part, you got these guys still got fans that want to tune in and watch. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with
Absolutely.
that 100%, man. Like they should be like some kind of prelims or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Any streaming service, yeah, for sure. I agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah,
And they have prelims, but they
mm,
have prelims for maybe 2 or 3 fights, and it might be the 2 fights prior to the actual start of the main card.
yeah,
But a lot of times there's like 5 or 6 other fights before that.
yeah.
A lot of major fight cards, for people that don't know, a lot of major fight cards start at like 5 p.m. 6 p.m. So if a guy comes on, a young guy comes on, he like, yeah, I'm on the, I'm on the, I'm on the Tank Davis undercard, and they gonna be like, yo, like I ordered a pay per view. Where was you at? Or they be like, all right, well I'm on the prelims, and they be like, yo, it was only 2 fights on the prelims. Like, I think that's a part of boxing we need to actually we need to actually address that. Like, we need to actually address that. I think whoever the promoter is needs to make a deal with whether it's Facebook or a streaming service, or hell, it could be a channel like mine or yours. Be like, hey, listen, let's stream some of these fights, these non-televised portion fights. Can we stream them on my channel? You know what I'm saying? And we work something out on the, business end. Because like, you take Errol Spence. Like, if you're not, let's say, take a Montana Love. Take a Montana Love. Like, how many of Montana Love's fights have you actually watched compared to his actual record? Maybe 25%, 30%. That's another problem. You see guys, you be like, damn, when did this fight happen? When was this shown? This is all about the development of the fighter. And I'm like, it's very hard to turn a fighter into a superstar when you only see them perform once a year, once every year and a half. Anything that's popular is because you see it all the time. It's not because you see it once a year. And I think that's the problem we're at with boxing. Where are we at with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take an Andre, people say Andre wave the white flag. I'm like, shit. If I'm in Andre position, I'm waving a white flag too. Cause I'm like, there's a difference between you going out on your shield. Your shield might mean you might have affected future paydays or your career in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You got to factor all that stuff in. Got my dog in the building, man. Shane, just waking up. You know what I'm
No, bro,
saying?
I've been at work all day, bro.
For real. What's up,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm good. Where you guys reached in the conversation? What's up? What's up,
Uh,
Legend? What's up?
What's up, man?
man, we was Jo was talking about like Andre, like basically like waving the white flag and all that. And I told him, I said, shit. I said, facing Benavidez, I'd have waved the white flag too. You know what I'm saying?
Benavidez is that dude, man. He's
He
that
that
dude.
dude. He that
He's
dude,
that dude,
man.
man. He's a killer. That dude will walk through everyone in the division.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy
Straight
work.
up.
I saw I
Straight up.
saw Andrade done exactly what I would have told him to do as well. He done everything I would have, other than quitting, obviously. But he done everything I would have told him to do.
That's
Go in there and try and land some shots early to stop this dude coming forward. As Jeff says, make him pay that admission fee. He would.
that.
He threw all the shots in the book,
Yo,
bro, but
bro.
it weren't there.
The thing that's crazy with Benavidez, Andre, he made him pay an admission fee. The problem was Benavidez is like, this all it costs. All right,
Literally, bro.
cool.
This
Like,
guy was coming in there like Adrian Broner in a strip club, bro.
yeah,
That admission fee was too low, bro. That admission
yeah.
fee was
That
too
that
low,
fee
bro.
was too low, brother. That fee was too
You
low,
guys talk
man.
about Regis and Devin already.
Yeah, but
Oh man, I missed that
we
part.
about to double back to it. We about to double back to it. I'm gonna run through these comments real quick. English guy said it's not fair to say Andre put up the white flag. He showed heart, and it was the corner who stopped it. But
No,
Ergashev just said no mas. Matthias is a beast. Let me okay. So if a guy when you're a fighter, I looked at Andre and I was like, when they stopped the fight, I was like, I think he got like another like 45 seconds. If they see one like big flurry, they should stop it. But as a corner, you should know your fighter,
fact.
and you should take the heat for your fighter. You should never put your fighter in a position to where
Where
people are
he has to
questioning.
say,
Right,
"Oh, stop it or not." And
right.
I think that's a good point. I thought the corner done a horrible job in that fight
Facts. I
because
remember the guy Ghost that used to be in the lives all the time.
yeah,
He was a
yeah.
part of that Andrea camp. I wish I can get in contact
He,
with him,
he,
but I thought he did
he,
a horrible job.
they done it, and I know it was Andre Rozier's first camp with Andrade, so it wasn't his dad. That's another thing. It's his
Mhm.
first camp. So you brought up a good point. Your camp normally knows you better, but he hasn't been in camp with Andre Rozier long enough to know when Andrade's hurt, when Andrade's not hurt. The reason why I say is poor is because, in my opinion, after round 5, the writing was on the wall, bro.
Yeah.
There was one game plan, which was go out early and go out fast and attack Benavidez, stop him from coming forward. When that didn't work, there was no adjustment. They didn't even look like they had a plan B, which that's fine. Andrade's a fighter where it's very difficult to have a plan B for, because his plan A works all the time.
Right.
So it is very difficult to have a plan B for.
Right.
What I wanted to see from the corner, personally, was after round 5, you should have heard him saying, "Listen, you're gonna have to show me something, or I'm gonna stop this." That one sentence, and obviously, Jeff's favorite coach in brother Nassim Richardson, you would have heard him say that. Show me something. You got to show me something, because I could see it before round 6. The writing was on the wall. Everything Andrade was throwing, Benavidez was walking through, and Andrade's legs was gone.
Yeah, it was, and that was the thing when he got caught with that shot. You get caught with certain shots. Not every shot take your legs away. There's some shots you can recover from. If it's just a head shot and it don't really affect your legs, you can recover from that. But that shot that affects your legs, it's hard to recover from that. It's going to take you at least a good 2 rounds of you not taking no additional damage for you to get your legs back.
100%. You're 100% right. As you brought up a good point, you taking no additional damage. Even you attacking takes your legs away, because you got to exert a lot of energy to keep him off you. And Andrade was doing what you would teach someone to do. If someone attacks you and they ain't getting off you, you have to throw back. But when your punches aren't doing anything, you're doing more harm to yourself than help, bro. And the writing's on the wall at that stage, bro. If I go and fight Jeff, and Jeff being, I don't know, he's heavier than me, and everything I throw at Jeff, he's just walking through it, and then I can't keep the distance anymore, and he's closing the gap on me, the writing's on the wall, bro. It's a matter of time before Jeff knocks me out.
Facts. And that's the thing. Like, that was just, it was just, for me, it was sad to see, before we keep it moving. Like, it was sad to see, and me and Legend was talking about this earlier. He's 35 years old, and he got to go fight that killer, and that's his opportunity.
I said that before the fight.
That's the opportunity of fame, and I'm just like,
it's like Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux's the same. He's had so much talent, never got the big fight, and his biggest fight was Lomachenko. He had to move up 2 weight classes to fight.
To get it.
The same thing.
It's the same exact thing, man. And it's like that's the bad of the boxing business. When you on the other end of it, when you on the other, and mind you, me and Shane haven't talked. So
I don't even know. I made a post. I don't know if Legend saw it, but I made a post saying the same thing. Demetrius Andrade's career is the bad side of boxing.
Facts.
It's when boxing goes wrong.
When boxing business goes wrong, is Andre's face. Straight up. Coach Pepe in the building. Big shout out to Coach Pepe Pena. He said excuses are always made after a loss. Take your and get better. Yeah, facts. Facts. I've never heard excuses after a win, for sure. Toby in the building.
I've never had an excuse before a fight.
Absolutely. Facts. Toby said Haney wipes the floor with Regis. This is a perfect segue into Regis and Haney. Toby said 3:45 a.m. My 1-year-old agrees. Fights overhyped. For being so overhyped. That's funny. Vlog said Regis by ref stoppage in 10. I tell you, Vlog been acting different. He been dropping some interesting comments.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But let's just we got a couple more. English guy said I'm gonna have a little bet on Regis. I ain't mad at that. Yeah. Jo said, I'm gonna put something on Regis stoppage between 7 and 12 for plus 1100. Woo! Jo, man, throw me some cheesesteak money if you hit that, brother. English guy, same. Jo said, I think Devin gonna win by UD, but it was worth the shot.
Definitely.
English guy, most likely outcome would be Devin points or Regis KO. Is it just the Linares thing why people thinking he got a shot at a KO?
No, because Regis has got power.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, and I said this before. Linares fought his whole career at 35. Lomachenko fought as low as 26. Jojo Diaz fought as low as 26. So he's moving up to 140. Now we don't know whether that affects his punch resistance positively, because it might mean he can absorb shots more. But he's fighting a guy who's a proven puncher. For
Yeah.
me, I get it's a 50-50 fight. I slightly lean towards Devin, but I can easily see a scenario where Regis wins this fight. I don't even know. I want to break down this fight so bad, bro.
Bro, break it down, bro. Break it down.
It's so funny because a lot of Devin's strengths are Regis's weaknesses. You know, Regis historically has always been a mid to close range fighter. You know, he has great timing, but he's not very fast, especially his feet. You know, Devin Haney is coming off the back of fighting the best southpaw footwork we've seen in the modern era in Lomachenko. So there's nothing Regis can show Devin in terms of feet that he ain't already dealt with against Loma.
Right.
Also, Devin Haney's got some real long ass arms. Regis T-Rex action, bro. Real short arms. Plus he throws short shots. So he literally needs to get up close with limited feet where he don't have the footwork to close that distance. So you're basically asking Regis to take shots to come in. Move his head to come in.
Ty, did I not say that earlier? I was like, yo, he's gonna have to throw it. He's gonna have to throw a jab with Haney just to get in close.
He's gonna have to, because he can't fight Devin at long range. Devin's got one of the best jabs in the division, and he's got better footwork than Regis. So not only does he have better footwork, he also has longer arms. So you got to transition in. So if you're going to transition in, that means you're going to have to take a few shots or throw with that person to get on the inside, which Regis can do. The problem that Devin has is Devin, when he cruises in fights, he switches off. He always has mid to late rounds, 8 to 9. That's why when people are saying the mid to late rounds, he always has that mental lapse of concentration. We saw it against Linares, you saw it against Jojo, saw it against Loma. But his powers of recovery are amazing. So Devin's gonna give you that. Devin's gonna give you that window to knock him out. Not knock him out, but to hurt him, because there's gonna be times where it's too easy for Devin, and he's gonna try and hold his feet. But when Regis gets the opportunity, he has to take it. There's no buts, bro. He has to take it. That's what he has to do.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Like, it's Regis is gonna have to. The reason why Lomachenko had so much success with Haney late is because he made the shot short. He made the shot short, and he made his game plan actually simple. He made it simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, short shots. You're not a guy like Haney. He's catching. I told Legend this earlier. He's catching. His defensive style is to catch the third shot, the fourth shot, the fifth shot. That's what it's supposed to catch. Guys like that, you have to try to catch them within your first shot or your second shot in terms of your offensive combinations. And I brought up Floyd earlier. I'm like, all the times that he's been hurt, it's either been the first shot, the second shot. When he fought Chop Corley, it was the first shot or the second shot. When he fought Shane Mosley, both times he got hurt, it was the first shot or the second shot. Right. Zab Judah, first shot or second shot. Those guys that are technically sound, they catch the flurries. That, like, you best to hit them with a bang shot or catch them with the first or second shot of the combination.
The reason why Devin gets hit by flurries a lot is because you can tell that sometimes his hands and his head doesn't move in sync. Like, he moves his head, but sometimes his hand is in the wrong place to catch the shot. I think that happened in the Linares fight. His hand was in the wrong place to catch the shot.
I said that earlier. Yeah.
Oh, did you? I didn't.
Yeah, I told him. I said his. I was telling Legend. I said, Linares' hand speed is faster than Regis, but it took for Linares to throw 5 or 6 shots to get to that point. The only reason he landed that shot was because Haney, he went like this, but his hand was the wrong way.
Yeah,
should have been like this.
Yeah,
yeah.
If and I'll tell anyone this, if for every thing Regis doesn't have in terms of speed, he has in terms of timing. This dude has real good timing when it comes to landing power punches. Like we saw it in the Zepeda fight. The issue with Devin Haney, and we saw it in the two Cambosis fights, is he does like to rest on the ropes. If I'm in his corner, this is a fight you don't want to be resting on the ropes. As soon as your back touch ropes, pivot out. Reason being is because Regis ain't Mexican. He ain't Loma. He ain't throwing flurries, bro. And as you said, Loma didn't throw flurries. He actually timed and picked his shots, but Loma normally throws flurries. Jojo throws flurries, and Linares throws flurries. Regis don't. Regis is coming for, I'm going to select and pick what power punch I'm gonna land. So every time you try slip and slide and do all of that, bro, he's not playing that game with you. He's looking for the shot to land. So if I'm Regis, I'm going in this fight. I have to hit something. In the first few rounds, I have to make him know you're at 140 and you have to feel my power. You're gonna play reverse whole day. And the moment you feel like you can come forward, I'm gonna show you why you can't. If he does that, he wins the first battle. If he allows Devin to fight at different ranges, he automatically loses the fight.
Yeah. It's an interesting fight for sure, man. Vlog say what's up, Shane O'Mac.
What's up, bro? Why you not on the live?
Yeah, work. Said Haney has always been a road warrior. Now you home and has to shine uphill battle. You know what? I asked Legend this earlier. How much pressure is it on Haney to actually perform? Like put on an impressive performance. How much pressure is on him for that?
None.
Really?
None.
Really?
I'll tell you why, and I know we're gonna disagree on this. I'll tell you why there's no pressure on Devin.
Okay.
Devin just came off a fight where everybody already hates him. Everyone already hates him. You know what I'm saying? So being a villain still sells, bro. Being a villain sells. If he wins this fight ugly, people are gonna still say this nigga ain't shit. They're gonna still say that, bro. They're gonna still say it. And they said he lost to Loma. If he wins in ugly fashion, but the thing is, he's still winning, and people will just tune in again to see him lose. You know.
I didn't look at it like that in terms of the villain role. Because I know Legend said it was a lot of pressure on him to actually perform, and I actually agreed with it earlier because the thing is, like, I could see if the Shakur fight didn't just happen, but Shakur took a lot of heat for the performance that he put on, and I guess I'm asking that more so on that angle. Like,
but who did Shakur fight? Regis is the best at 140. So
I agreed. I think it's pressure on him. I think it's pressure on him in a sense of if he does put on a really good performance, the checkbook gonna be open.
I don't think
a lot of different ways he can go.
I don't think so. I guarantee you, bro. If Devin Haney wins, if Devin Haney wins, they're gonna say Regis weren't shit. I guarantee you. They're gonna say Regis weren't a good fighter. He was a shit fighter. They're gonna say that, bro. You know how it is already.
And the thing is I got a comment coming up that is actually gonna support what you're saying. I'm gonna read it. Let me see. Vlog said Loma touched him. Linares now going to 140 versus a dude with 80% KO rate. Gotta go with Regis. The thing about it is Linares had that one moment that he had, like that's all he had. Like that's all he had. Like literally in 12 rounds, that's all he had. Big shout out to Tommy Bundles. Big shout out to your family. He said Regis got slapped all around the ring against Zerillo, getting dropped. He is gonna be 35 in January and can't close the distance like Loma. Regis won't have enough volume to win.
That's my point. People are already gonna, bro. We know how it is, bro. We know how. For me, I hate boxing. I hate boxing fans. I hate boxing fans so much, bro. Because a dude can't lose and still be a good fighter. I'm still hearing people say Errol Spence ain't shit.
Yeah.
So, bro, like a dude can't lose and still be a good fighter. We got two top fighters. We got Devin and we got Regis. Two dudes who are really, really good fighters. And I guarantee you, anyone who loses, the other dude weren't shit.
Yo, Tommy, that comment was so good, man. I almost thought Shane had a different YouTube handle. I thought he was going by Tommy Bundles. That's a Shane. That's a Shane support comment for sure. But no, it's a good statement though, because if you're going based off of his last fight, which a lot of fighters go basically off of their fighter's last performance, I can see people formulating that opinion. I can see them formulating that opinion. But let's be clear, Regis is tough. I just think he just had a bad night. And like
what, Jeff? Do you remember when we done the live for Bivol versus Craig Richards? We done a live for that. Bivol, everyone was saying Bivol want shit. We were still saying Bivol beats Canelo. Guess what happens? He beats Canelo, and all of a sudden Bivol's pound for pound number one. You see how reactionary fans are,
right?
You know, like one day you could be the worst fighter, one day you could be the best fighter. For me, it's literally like I don't even feel. I watch fights based on your ability. I don't watch fights like obviously Regis didn't have a good performance. But he knows he didn't have a good performance. He knows that. Like, he's not going to fool himself. I guarantee you, from round one, bro, I love Regis's energy for this fight. I love Regis's energy for this fight. He's making Devin know this is a war. Like, you're coming to war. The only thing is, Devin's battle hardened. He's ready for it as well. That's why it's such a good fight. I say this has been the best build-up this year for a fight.
Listen, I started off the show with that. And I was like, I asked Legend, I said, did you know ESPN had a card tonight? He was like, no. Like, I didn't know either. I ran down the whole lineup. I was like, and their undercard might be better than the DAZN card, but DAZN did such a good job.
Got what, Montana Love versus Poro on it. Who else is on it?
Yeah. Other than that, it's not really nothing else really cooking. But ESPN got it's a solid card. It's just it was no
Who's
promotion.
headlining ESPN?
Robisi Ramirez.
Robisi's a good fighter though. He's got some good fights at 26 as well.
Yeah. They got a couple. They got Bruce Carrington's on the card. Jahad Tucker's on the card. They got a nice
Richard Torres.
Was it
Richard Torres?
Was it Plus or
Plus? Yeah, ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus. Yeah, it's a solid card. It's a solid card for sure.
I think this. Did you not get the feel of it being kind of PBC-ish? I think this is the first time like Eddie Hearn's ever had like black fighters. You know, like that old school feel. It felt very PBC-ish. Like it felt very Tony Harrison, Jamal Charlo-ish.
Yeah, he took a nice little chunk out of the PBC playbook.
I like it, but I think it was a good idea because those are the two personalities that's gonna get. For me, bro, if I could get the time off, bro, I'll be in San Francisco with YSM right now.
I feel you. Oh, he out there. That's what's up.
No, he's out. I saw him. He was doing some interview with Eddie Hearn. I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, the thing about it, man. It's like there's a lot of cards that are getting shown, but I'm like that promotion is key. I'm like a lot of guys are on cards and they don't do their own darn promotion. They don't post nothing on social media. They don't do nothing. Like, right. You know what I mean? Straight up. Tommy Bundles, he said Regis has a good head movement, but nothing like Loma footwork. Devin will jab and grab. Tank is
that's the problem though. If Devin's gonna jab and grab, Regis needs to make him know that this is 140.
Yeah,
I'm a big dude, bro. Yeah, like he needs to make him know that. Like that's another thing. If I'm Regis, like, bro, and another thing we ain't spoken about is Regis needs to do something to slow Devin down. So body shots early, as Jeff always says, you have to touch something, even if it's in the chest area, the head move, all of that, bro. You have to touch something.
Right.
Slow this dude down early. You know, you can't just let him get. If Devin gets in a cruise control, it's almost impossible to beat.
Yeah, right. Like the thing with Prograis, like he has to. I actually think he needs a jab with Haney. And it's simply you're not trying to prove that you got a better jab. You're trying to make Haney think before he actually throws the jab. Like when Haney gets into a rhythm He's just popping the jab out. Like it's nothing you can do with him. It's
At
nothing you can do with
times,
him.
at times it might look a bit like Cambosis too. At times, you know, where he's trying to do certain stuff and it doesn't work. But the difference with Cambosis is Cambosis don't have that physical strength. Cambosis was a small 35, so he at 40, Regis needs to make him know that there's a different weight class. If he can't make Regis know that he's fighting at a higher weight class, it's gonna be an easy fight, bro. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a real easy fight.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm kind of curious to see if Haney gonna give me lead right hands against the southpaw. That Mayweather lead right hand is dynamite against the
But
southpaw if you got the
but his
speed.
slip and counter is good though. Regis slip and counter is good, bro. Regis slip
Yeah,
and counter is good.
I think Regis now. If you had all right, Legend, I'll start with you. Like, if you had to give Regis some keys to win this fight, what you giving him?
Keep his distance. Keep his distance. You know,
Who Regis?
when the Haney, Regis, he need to keep his distance. Like I think, like I was telling G5, if Haney comes in the first couple of rounds, I think Haney's coming in swinging for the fences, kind of like Teal was doing against Cambosis in that first round. I think that's how Haney's coming out. But as the fight plays out, he's going to get smart and strategic. So I see
Against Regis.
that's what I
against
think.
Regis, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, I think Regis he's just gonna have to like keep his distance and try to land those power shots. But I it's tough for me. But I'm going with Haney by decision, man. So
What you think, Shane?
I think Regis is coming in swinging for the fences. Regis, bro, in Regis's mind, he's looking at it like Wilder. All I need to do is hit you once. And when I hit you, you're gonna know. Because Regis got that power, bro. He's got different type power. But I think if I have to pick a key to victory, you can't load up on shots early. First few rounds, do everything in your power to keep the fight up close. Do everything in your power to keep the fight up close and try and, on the inside, try and be smart, witty, throw combinations, throw shots to the head, throw shots to the body. You have to throw more volume. I think someone said in the comment section he doesn't have enough volume. In this fight, he's going to have to show volume. After that, as the fight gets on, if I'm Regis, I'm looking constantly to start combinations to the body, finish to the head, and catch Devin Haney in transition. Get him up against the ropes when he's transitioning from offense to defense. When he's trying to leave out the back door, Devin Haney sometimes leaves with his hand down, try to catch him in transition. Try to catch like he does the Pader, try to catch him when he's on the way back to the ropes. And when you get Devin hurt, or if you get Devin hurt, pick your shots. Don't just swing for the fences. Pick your punches.
Yeah, as far as Regis being on the outside, the problem, the reason why I don't think that's gonna work for Regis is because you're fighting at, I'm not saying that Regis can't get anything done from the outside. You're literally fighting from your opponent's best distance. Devin's best distance is him on the outside. So Regis being on the outside, he might be able to get some things done, but he's actually catering to what Devin does best. If Devin can stay on the outside all night long and just pop a jab all night, he gonna do that all night. And he's the quicker fighter, quicker hands, reflexes is probably a little bit better. So I would, if I'm Regis, I'm telling him to get on the inside strictly because Haney don't like that. That he's not at his best when a guy is in his chest. I'm not saying that Haney can't fight that way, but you're forcing, when you're in these championship fights, you have to force your opponent to beat you with the plan B, the plan C, and the plan D. I'm not giving you an opportunity to execute your plan A. Like, that's any championship fight, big time fight. You take away that other person's top weapon. That's goal number one. Take away the top weapon of your opponent. Make him beat you with something he's not used to beating people with. And I think that's probably the biggest advice I can give Regis Prograis. You have to do something to either challenge Haney's jab or get inside of Haney's jab. Once you get inside of Haney's jab, then you go to work. You make Haney beat you with something else other than that jab. And I just think even if you take the Loma fight, Loma just started too late. He starts that late activity 2 rounds earlier. He wins that fight clearly because he had Haney figured out. And I didn't need to have the commentator tell me that he had it figured out. You could tell because those last couple rounds, Haney was taking shots that he wasn't seeing. And you could tell guys can't see shots when you see their head like this. When their head go like that, when they're getting hit with them pot shots, they're getting hit with those shots because they don't see them coming. They don't see them coming, and you see that snap when they get hit. And you never seen Haney head snap like that with shots. Loma wasn't even cracking him crazy. It was just shots that he wasn't seeing. Regis is going to be something different because he has that power. He doesn't have the footwork of Lomachenko. So what Regis is going to have to do is it's that volume. He's going to have to throw. And when he does throw, he's going to have to throw in combinations, and he's going to have to throw emphatic. And I'm talking middle to back half of the fight. You don't want to blow your load early. You blow your load against Haney, back half of the fight, and you fighting Haney tired, you're gonna get schooled. You're gonna get schooled. But that would be my advice for Regis. And he needs to. I think he need to hit something. He need to hit Haney with something early.
That's what I said, bro. That's the most important thing. He has to do something to disrupt Devin Haney's rhythm early. You know, Devin Haney in that back end of the fight, when he sees the finish line, bro, Devin Haney's a real good fighter, bro. Yeah. And again, people need to understand Devin Haney's powers of recovery is probably one of the best in the division, bro. This dude got hit by Linares. Next round, bro, like he was back at it. He got hit by Lomachenko and rocked in the 11th round. 12th round, he won.
Yeah, so, he got good legs. He got good legs.
Even in Adrian Broner's story, if you listen to Adrian Broner's story where Tank and Devin Haney spar, Devin Haney gets apparently knocked out or rocked or whatever. Everybody jumps in the ring. And then Devin Haney, and then they let them fight on, and Devin Haney wins the rest of the spot. That's what Adrian Broner says.
Yeah.
For you to get knocked out, apparently, and still go back, continue fighting, and win the rest of the fight, bro, that takes mental toughness and physical toughness. Yeah, and that's what Adrian Broner said, bro. Normally, when people get knocked out, bro, they ain't fighting. They can't even spell their name, bro. This dude continued fighting and won the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and his Haney got good legs, man. Like he got good legs. You can tell he got real strong legs. You know what I mean? And your legs, your strength of your legs is a big part of how you recover and how fast you recover.
So what, Jeff? You're gonna start going live more regular, or is this just a one?
No, it's just it's gonna have to be probably around this time, probably like more so like in the mornings.
When did you get that t-shirt?
I done had this for a while. I ain't had a chance to really crack it open. You know what I'm saying? But
I need to phone you off camera. I ain't spoken to you in a while.
Okay, yeah, for sure. What's up, legend?
Yeah, I want to say one more thing before I jump off. Okay. I was gonna say if Regis hurts Haney to definitely capitalize on it, because a lot of times fighters, they get their opponent hurt and they don't capitalize on it. So if he hits Haney with a power shot and Haney's hurt, I say just jump on him, try to finish him off. Don't give him time to recover.
Right.
I mean, don't give him time to go to the to the corner, recover good that he's 100% the next round. Like, just jump on him if he gets him hurt.
I agree with that 100%. Not only does he need to jump on him, he actually needs to make the fight rough after that. Because a lot of times, especially with Haney, you even take the Linares fight. Linares came out the next round like he won the fight with that one shot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, bro, like there's still rounds to go. Like there's still rounds to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you have to not only try to capitalize at the moment, but going forward, you have to ride the momentum.
Linares didn't jump on the top of the ropes.
Yo, man, I was like, damn, like like it was like when Martin hit Tommy Hearns with one shot and he jumped on the ropes and turned around and got his ass whipped. Like that's how Linares was. Like it's crazy, but no, legend, you're 100% right. And one more thing that you said, that I think Regis can do. If Regis is gonna be on the outside, the only time he should really be doing that is to make Devin reset, just to give him something different to think about. And it's gonna be moments in the fight where he's gonna have to do that. Because Haney's fighting at home, I do think he's gonna try to open up offensively a little bit more. That's why he really needs to be as close to Devin as possible, because he's gonna have to throw in between those combinations, because he's not gonna be able to beat him punch for punch.
No
Like
way.
Devin's the faster fighter.
Timing's gonna win this.
Time is gonna win this fight. So for every 3 shots that Haney's throwing in a combination, Regis should be throwing a bomb. He should be throwing a bomb in between those shots, to even if he misses, just to give Haney something to think about the next time he does it. You know what I mean? So Regis need to be doing things to really set up shots as well.
Bro, I'm jumping off, but
I'm getting ready to end it. I'm getting ready to end it anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll talk. Big shout out to Shane. I'm gonna get through these last few and then we're gonna jump off. Tommy Bundles said Tank more explosive. Yeah, Tank might be the most explosive fighter in the sport. Straight up. He said better reflexes, be more in the house, man. Yeah, of course, for sure. You know what I mean? I'm in Philly, so you already know. Be more, Maryland. You know what I mean? Philly, we all family at the end of the day. Yeah. Subscribe to my man T Finney for sure. Tommy Bundles, I don't think Regis would beat Jack Catterall right now. Bundles, you coming in swinging, bro. You coming in swinging. I don't know if I agree with that. Are you going just off of his last fight? Because if you're going just off his last fight, then I can understand your thought. J.O., people criticized Loma heavily after his Ortiz performance. A lot of people thought he lost, and you see how he bounced back next fight against Devin. Can't always grade off of the last performance. Agreed. And the thing was, Jermaine Ortiz was a lot bigger than Loma too. Jermaine Ortiz is actually he was training with Rob Acosta, who was Boots' old strength and conditioning coach for that fight too. So he came in strong, he came in ready. Vlog said Haney ran from 135 because he don't want to see top.
Tago isn't all that, man. Tago had a bad performance against Ryan, man.
I feel like Vlog only said that because I ain't talked to him in a while, and he gotta remind me, you know, that he says things that try to get me upset, and I'm not gonna be upset today. I'm glad I'm on camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm doing a show, and I'm not gonna let Vlog get under my skin with any Tagu comments, man. I'm not gonna do it. Tommy Bundles, Fury made boxing look so bad. I started watching UFC. Yeah, that was a terrible performance. Even though if you watch the fight round by round, Fury probably won more rounds. But that was terrible. Like, you got Ngannou in the top 10 now because of your stinky performance. But you know, go get your money and do what you got to do. Just perform against Usyk. That's all. Vlog said if it's an ugly fight, who has the advantage? Also, who will have an edge on the cards in that type of fight? I think Haney's gonna have the edge either way. If it's a boxing match, Haney's gonna have the advantage. If Haney's in a dog fight, I think Haney would get enough combinations off to sway the judges. I think Regis gonna have to hit. He gonna have to rock him with something. He gonna have to rock him with something several times in this fight to give himself a chance on the cards. Like, he's really gonna have to rock him, man. In an ugly fight, who you think has the advantage? Legend.
In an ugly fight, I think Prograis has it because he has the power, but Haney has the speed. So if Prograis, you know, if he, let's just say he gets out of character and he's swinging for the fences, Haney can keep countering him with his fast jabs. So,
Facts.
So I would give the advantage to Haney if it got ugly.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well, because even though Regis got the power, if he's not landing anything, only thing that's filling the power is the air. You know what I mean? Straight up.
I'll say this, just sort of like Floyd and Hatton. You know, Hatton coming in, Hatton had the power, but Floyd was catching him with everything.
Yeah, facts, man. But we gonna close this thing out, man. This was a great preview show. Big shout out to my guy Ty Finney, the legend, for stepping through. I'll probably be with Legend tonight. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be covering the card. I might make it in probably for the post fight. With Ty Finney, the legend, and Chris G. Big shout out to everybody that came in here, man. Legend, give me social media and all that good stuff.
Yeah, IG, the Legend 3347, TikTok, the same name, Facebook, Ty Finney, podcast, Indies Corner, T Finney 3319. Hit that sub button for sure.
Yeah, hit that sub button for sure, man. Far as myself, I'm gonna announce the new schedule. I'm gonna announce it on social media probably either today or tomorrow. New podcast coming. I'm gonna announce that as well. I got a couple of interviews already lined up. We just gonna figure out dates and things like that. So definitely follow me on IG, Facebook, TikTok. I gotta get my Twitter back. They said I'm suspended. I think somebody tapped into my joint, was using it for spam or something. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get Twitter back. Once I get back, everything G5JeffTv, man. Jo said great stream, fellas, man. Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good one for sure. Said glad y'all back, man. Big shout out to you, Jo. Big shout out to everybody that was on here. You'll see me with Ty Finney the Legend later on tonight with Chris G. I will be doing another one tomorrow morning, probably around like the same time. And we're gonna announce just new interviews. And Ty Finney got great interviews on his channel as well. A lot of great interviews, man. Definitely go check him out. But on behalf of Ty Finney, the legend, VP Shane, Boxing First Vlog, your boy G5 Jeff TV, man. It's been a pleasure. We'll see y'all later on tonight.